everybody. I got more enthusiasm over here, I have to say. That's true. I'm Maggie Boland. I'm Signature's Managing Director, and we are so excited to welcome you to the first glimpse for Signature in the Schools. This is our 31st Signature in the Schools production, which is pretty incredible. Yeah, let's give that a round. Even though it's 31st, there are a couple of firsts happening with this production, which is there has never been this much sports equipment at Signature Theater before. This is the first time we've ever needed a football consultant for a production at Signature. And it's the largest company we have ever had in terms of the Signature in the Schools play. So let's Signature in the Schools is a program that has been absolutely essential to Signature's mission since our 5th season. It's really been important for us to build partnerships with local students, with the area schools, and to serve our community deeply with what we all know is a really magical art form that brings people together and encourages us to think and to be empathetic and to be courageous and brave and all kinds of incredible qualities that we know that the arts can bring to all of us and to especially those who participate really deeply and richly in it. So David Zobell, our education director, is going to come up in a minute and you'll hear a lot more about the program itself. But before he does that, I want to give a special thanks to the sponsors that make this program possible. We provide the program free of charge to schools. We encourage students to participate free of charge, and none of that would be possible without the support of all of you who are here with us and here watching from home or office or wherever you do your Zooming from. And for those of us in the room, you can see on the screen the names of our lead sponsors for Signature in the Schools. Our incredible board member, Bonnie Feld, who's here. So let's give her a round. All of our education programs at Signature are sponsored by Amazon, our very own Arlington neighbors. So we're very grateful to them. And then also for Signature in the Schools, Lois Greisman and the Philip L. Graham Fund are important sponsors. There are so many other donors who support our education programs at Signature, many of you among them. So we urge you to come to our public performances, which are happening on the 19th and 26th of January. Tickets are on sale on our website right now for $15 each. Please don't miss it. And when you're here, you will see a list in the program of all of the incredibly generous folks who make our education programs at Signature possible. So now I'm going to pass it on to the director of Signature in the Schools and our education director. Many of you know him well, David Zobell.
All right. Good evening, friends. Thanks for coming out to support. Like we said, my name is David. I'm the director of education here at Signature Theater. I want to thank you all for supporting this program that means so much to so many people, generations of these. I was just saying to Christine before we started, I've now been a part of this program longer than many of them have been alive, and that makes me want to die with joy. This is my 17th year working on it, 15th year directing it, and it's just a core part of my life at this point. The focus is going to be on letting these guys talk. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. I'll get you a quick little blurb on what the program is, and then we're going to let them do the talking. So we're going to start here with William and snake our way back. When it comes to you, tell us name, role in the position, and if you are currently in school, what school you attend. Okay, there we go.
Hi, I'm William. I'm an actor.
Stand up, yeah.
Hi, I'm William. I'm an actor in this production, and I go to South County High School.
Hello, my name is Angelina. I am an actor as well, and I go to Wakefield High School.
Hi, I'm Sev. I'm an actor, and I go to Yorktown.
Hi, I'm Caroline. I'm also an actor, and I go to W&L.
Hi, I'm Jacqueline. I'm an actor, and I go to Wakefield.
Hi, I'm Cooper. I'm an actor, and I go to Langley.
Hi, I'm Lucas. I'm an actor, and I go to Robinson.
Hello, I'm Gus. I'm an actor, and I go to W&L.
Hi, I'm Ferris. I'm an actor, and I go to Washington Liberty.
Hi, I'm TJ. I'm an actor, and I go to Robinson.
Hi, I'm Deacon, and I go to Bishop Ireton.
Hi, I'm Lily. I'm an actor, and I go to Northern High.
Hi, I'm Ava. I'm an actor, and I go to Wakefield.
Hi, I'm Darren, and I'm an actor, and I go to Arlington Tech.
Hi, I'm Mark. I'm an actor, and I go to HB Woodlawn.
Hi, I'm Stephanie. I'm an actor, and I go to Washington Liberty.
Hi, I'm Romy. I'm an actor, and I go to Washington Liberty.
Hi, I'm Amelia. I'm an actor, and I go to Washington Liberty.
Hi, I'm Winter. I'm an actor, and I go to Wakefield.
Hi, I'm Lucia. I'm a costume designer and I go to Wakefield.
Hi, I'm Charlie. I'm on costumes and I go to AP Woodlawn.
Hi, I'm Elisa. I'm a spotlight operator and I go to Wakefield.
Hi, I'm August. I'm on props crew, and I go to Wakefield.
Hi, I'm Lena. I'm a props crew and I go to Wakefield.
Hi, I'm Dominic. I'm an actor and I go to Washington Liberty.
Hi, I'm Ani. I'm an actor and I go to Washington Liberty.
Hello, I'm Annabelle and I go to Washington Liberty and an actor. Hello, I'm Arlo. I go to Langley and I'm on costumes.
Hey everyone, I'm Tess. I'm the assistant stage manager and I go to ECHS.
Hi, I'm Annie. I'm stage manager and I go to Georgetown Station.
Hi, I'm Maggie. I'm the deck chief and I go to Washington Liberty.
Hi, I'm Laurel. I'm the sound operator, and I go to HP Woodlawn.
Hi, I'm Jaden. I'm a light operator, and I go to HP Woodlawn.
I'm Rue. I go to Wakefield and I'm a spot operator.
Hi, I'm Ella. I'm a spotlight operator, and I go to Wakefield.
Hi, I'm Danny. I'm an actor, and I go to the School of Hard Knocks.
I'm also Danny and I wrote it.
Believe it or not, we do have 2 or 3 kids who were not able to join us this night. The company just never ends. So Signature in the Schools, like we said, this is in its 31st season. What this program is, at its core, there is the creation of an original play written by Danny Stoller this year. It's written for young people to perform for young audiences. There are 5 student matinees coming up in addition to the public performances that you heard about. At those 5 student matinees, some 1,700 of their peers come on field trips to watch this performance over the course of a week. It's performed on the set of Fiddler on the Roof this year, which is actually kind of a gift to have such an open set. There have been harder ones. So that is the basics of it. We're going to get a little more detailed now. Actually, before I do that, there's one more introduction thing I want to do with my students. If it is your first year in the program, would you mind standing up for it, please? It's a very new crowd. Thank you. If it is your second year in the program, would you please stand for us? If it's your third year in the program, stand up for us. And if it's your 4th year in the program, please for giving all of your high school experience over to me. Thank you. Hey, Matt and Sierra, could you help pull these chairs out? Like I said, I want the focus to be on them talking this evening because I've been talking about this program for forever. So we're going to do something a little different this night. We're going to bring them out in small groups and kind of do a speed dating experience here with all of you, where I ask them a couple questions. Matt's going to set up a timer for 3 minutes on his phone. Once it hits 3 minutes, we swap them out for the next group and we chat with them. Okay? So my first group. I would like to have come up Aliza, Jaden, Romy, Charlie, Dominic, and Annabelle. Come on up, please. Cool. All right. So we have mix of cast and crew here. First, we're going to talk. Have you set your timer? Here we go. I want to first hear. Let's talk on the audition process for getting into this program. Tell me, and whoever wants to respond, we don't have an answer from everybody. How did you hear about the program and what drew you to it? If anybody has any thoughts in regards to that, please.
I heard about it from my sister, who did the program as an actor a couple of years ago. And she was just talking about how much it helped her grow as a person and also grow in the community in the theater. And I'm more interested in tech and I wanted to try out for tech, and I did an interview and it was just such a welcoming experience. The second I stepped in the building, I could tell everyone was already there for me and everyone was just so kind, and I already knew it was just going to be a great time.
Awesome. Anybody else? Yeah, Annabelle.
So I heard about this program because David and Matt came to my theater class and played a few games with us, and I was like, wow, this is really fun. So I showed up on audition day, and it was an improv audition, so we didn't have anything prepared. So I was obviously a little nervous, and I came in, the community was just so welcoming, and it was just so much fun. I really enjoyed it, and I just felt so much at home here. It was really nice to see.
Awesome. Sure, Remy, go for it.
I learned about the program through my lovely friend Stephanie. I joined the program because I was a very big attention seeker as a child, and it carries over when you get older. So
I want to give a special shout out to Stephanie. We do this thing every year. I don't think any staff knows that I do this. Every year, returning students, I say whoever, on the audition form, there's a line saying, how did you hear about the audition? And whoever's name is listed as how you heard about it the most, I give them $20 from my wallet.
Thank you.
Stephanie won.
Yeah, so
this
Stephanie
year.
got like 15 people on the show this year. Okay, are there any, we started to talk about how the audition and interview process. Anybody else want to flesh out a little bit about what that looked like? Dominic?
Yeah, so we got separated into groups of around 10, and well, we either started with Matt or David. With Matt, we did like kind of like improv, like kind of like warm-ups, just kind of like getting used to it. And then with David, it was really fun because we went up one by one and we're given a scenario and had like 3 different ways to do something. And I was kind of really nervous going into it, but the way that everyone was just really supportive of everyone, it was really great. And I think that's part of why I had it like a fun audition, was because everyone is so supportive, and it was just a really fun audition in general.
Awesome, thank you. And any thoughts on what the tech application process looked like? Charlie?
We just went into a room one by one, and we had an interview with
Sierra.
And she just asked us about like what we were most interested in, our experience. Like she was like, what do you know about sewing, since I wanted to be on costumes? And I was like, I can hand sew. And she was like, sewing machine? And I was like, no. And I was really scared that that was going to be like, oh, you can't do it. But she was like really kind about it, and I was like, oh, thank you. And it was just like really welcoming, and I felt accepted.
Thank you. The big question that we ask every year, because we know that many people interested in doing this program have no theater experience, is we ask the tech applicants, tell me about a time that you had to work really hard at something. And that question always invites something really cool, and we get to find out if they have any work ethic, because that's really what we're looking for. Good. Any other thoughts about the audition process, or about finding out that you made it into the program? No? Okay, well, please, Annabelle.
So when I found out, I was at my sports locker, and I really did not like the sport I was in, and so I really wanted to get out and just do something else, but my parents are very much like, you have to be doing something. And I got this email. I was absolutely elated. It was so much fun.
I worked at an ice cream parlor before this, and I put on the application for my audition. I said, I will quit my job if I get casted. And I quit my job.
Awesome. Thank you all. Oh yeah, Dominic, please.
I was really excited when I first saw that I got casted, and then we like we got some more information before our first read. We knew what the dates were. And we get it, and we were like, and we got the cast list with that. I was at homecoming, and I totally missed the cast list until I got to the first read. I was like, oh, that's who I am. It was pretty funny.
It's great. Wait, time?
Yeah, we're
okay. You can be loud and obnoxious about it. Sure. Okay, thank you. Okay, next group. Thank you so much. Okay, my next group. I want Ani, Gus, Rue, Mark, Laurel, Ella, and Darren, please. Okay, so we have the auditions. About a week after the auditions, they find out if they made it into the program. And then a couple weeks, a month or so after that, they go into boot camp. So the question is, the opening question here, what is boot camp? Who wants to take that?
Well,
Gus.
Oops, sorry.
Gus first, and we'll go to you.
Oh, okay. It's basically the first 3 weeks of the program. They're basically like trying to make sure that you understand the play and like really getting you like used to the like experience, and also it's just really fun because that's kind of when you get to like socialize and like get to know the other people in the ensemble and what all that. And so we really got to like focus on different like techniques and stuff. We learned about like how to project better, how to memorize, how to focus. And it's just a really nice, fun, helpful experience.
Great, so that's the actor side of it. What are covering on the days when everybody's there?
Yeah, so I'm in tech, it was my first year. And again, yes, we were learning a lot about the show. But one big thing that I really noticed was like, boot camp was really made to get that synergy together, to get people to come together, learn about each other, and learn how to work with each other really effectively. And I think that's what makes the show run so well. Like you get into when you start putting the show together, you're like, oh, I was with these people doing this boot camp thing, and now I'm able to just be with them and make this show and make it amazing without having to worry about, oh, like, was that weird in front of this person that I don't know, right? Yeah.
Great. And and the technical side, like we said, we talk about the subject matter of the show. This year we're talking about, and I still don't know if we're allowed to say it or not, the Scottish play.
Yeah.
We're allowed to say it, right?
I mean, we can say Mackers.
Yeah, about Mac.
Don't say it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. We're talking about a play written by William Shakespeare. And we're talking about our take on the contemporary relevancy of it.
David, you have to explain that superstition now.
There is a play that we're not allowed to say the name of because it is bad luck. It is a tragedy. And about a guy named Mac. What do you remember in terms of the things we talked about with the subject matter? And whether it be Mac or the contemporary relevancy of it? What were some of the things that we explored there? Ani.
So I unfortunately wasn't able to come to too much of boot camp because I was in another show that had performances very soon after. But the parts that I did come to, I learned so much about just not even like things that apply to the show, but things that apply to life in general. We talked a little bit about, actually a lot about, some of the pressures that people face and where those pressures and stresses come from. And that's honestly been helpful, not just in doing this show, but also in my life in general. Yeah.
Time's up.
All right. Sorry. Thanks. Next group. Up next, and if you have burning questions related to what they're talking about, don't worry, there'll be time for you at the end. We have Lucia, August, Ava, TJ, Winter, Lena, and Danny Gavigan. Come on. Okay. This one we're going to kind of bifurcate between actors and tech. So after the boot camp process, we then go into 5 weeks of rehearsal. And the rehearsals, it's about 15 to 18 hours a week, which is not very much. That's like 2 days of work in the real world, right? But for them, they're coming out of a full day of school every day before that as well. So 15 to 18 hours a week for 5 weeks. Actors, I want to hear about the rehearsal process for you. How's it been? What have the challenges been for you? Let's just start by riffing on it about the process, please.
Personally, this rehearsal process was like the best one I've had before. I feel like they really didn't waste our time here. Every time I came, I had a purpose to be here, and there wasn't like downtime that I was like, I could be doing homework right now. Also, something I really appreciated about it was that they really pay a lot of attention to like the scene and the emotion and the heart of it, and that's something I feel like I don't get at school because partly they don't have the same amount of time, but I feel like just being able to focus so much on the little details and having them really help us analyze our characters and analyze the scene and the subtext in it was super helpful.
Yeah, TJ.
Going off of what Ava was saying, the time aspect of it was we were so efficient all the time. Like you were only called if you are needed, and that's something like I can't speak for all of us, but it's something that I don't really get at school. Like there's so many times where I'll be called and I'll just be waiting around, and there was no waiting around. There was always work being done, even if it wasn't our scene being blocked or work. Like we were always in another room working on characters and stuff. And there's an aspect of the rehearsal process that I think is what really makes it special, is that we are meant to have our lines memorized on day one. So we're only working on the emotion, we're only working on the story, we're only working on the characters. And I think that's what makes it so successful.
Danny, you're a little bit older than these actors.
A little bit older. To make you feel better, I actually was doing the math. I think I've been doing professional theater for longer than they've been alive, but that's okay. That's exciting. I have to say, I came in 3 weeks into the process.
Yeah.
So granted, they had time to rehearse this, but I've never, I can count on one hand the amount of times, and this is one of them, where I jumped into a process where everybody was prepared and just game. I mean, collectively, the focus, and I remember high school, and I've taught in high schools, it's nowhere near as focused and cohesive. You're imagining some distractions, but everybody collectively, I was really nervous because they were ahead of me, and I came into the game just a couple weeks ago, and then, so I had to be prepared and off book, like you said, and it just showed that all of you were prepared from day one, and just the specificity of the work was really impressive, and it felt so smooth to just join everybody and kind of jump in with you all.
Your time.
Okay, really fast, we're gonna go over on this one because I haven't heard from my crew yet. We've got members of our props and costumes crews up here. Let's talk props first. Okay, props, what have you been working on? What have been the challenges on this show? What's made this one a unique one for you?
It's been hard because there's a lot of partying like surrounding the show, and I don't think either of us have been to parties like at all. So, like the type of parties that you don't want to be at. Or I don't. So it's been hard because we've actually had to like look up a lot of things and like ask people. It's kind of weird.
Do you have anything to add to that?
For a bunch of things, like for example, we had to like brainstorm about like, can I say what we're doing?
Yeah.
We had to brainstorm about like a blood splatter. So we had to figure out how to like make a blood splatter through a uniform. So I think it like challenges our creativity a lot.
Love it. And Red's representing the costumes. Tell us about working on costumes on this. What have been the challenges for you?
Well, one of the challenges, since it's kind of based off of football, American football, definitely the uniforms, like with the padding under, and figuring out how to get the actors to change in and out of the padding fast, because it is a really hard thing to get in and out of, considering there's like the padding and then there's a shirt and it's a whole thing. But yeah, I feel like that was our biggest challenge so far, and I guess like finding the right sizes for the uniforms, because on the online, we ordered the uniforms online, and according to my designer, which I also agree with her, the measurements were a little off.
Great, love that. Yeah, perfect. Shout out to Wakefield High School for lending us all of their football equipment for free for this show, by the way. Yeah, right now. Thank you all. We're going to cycle in the next group. Thank you. Okay, actually, before we go on to the next group, we're going to take a little pivot here for a minute. Let's go to the, this is right, no, back, sorry, there we go, stay. Like I said earlier, this program is mostly centered, as the title suggests, on schools. 1,800 of their peers will be bused in to see this program, the production that they're doing. That is all free of charge. We pay for the buses, we comp them all in, right? It's a completely free program. Additionally, the schools all receive a free workshop. In most years, it is before the production to prepare them for it. This year, for calendar reasons, they're coming in afterwards, which I actually think is kind of nice to debrief with the classes on what they've seen, which will be good given how heavy some of the material is in this one. And that is taught by our team of teaching artists. It's also, that teaching artist team includes staff members like our education program manager, Matt Strout, and our assistant education program manager, Sierra Lockram, who have both done a tremendous amount of work on this show and all of its adjacent parts. Additionally, teachers are given a website in advance with lesson plans related to the material. This year, I hope they use it a lot in the future as they're teaching the Scottish play in their English classes. Lessons to help them find relevancy within it, and lessons about mental health and about pushing themselves too hard. We give all the students that are coming a website of 1,000 resources, videos, articles, podcasts related to the themes of the show so that they have their way into finding it. And again, that was all compiled by our staff team here, and it's really tremendous. It's an amazing resource, and we'll make sure that you get those websites so that you can dig into the world of the play on your own to see the amazing work that they've done. And what these schools are learning about, the production always has to be related to something in the curriculum, whether it be the English curriculum or the social studies curriculum. This year we went the English route with the Scottish play, and I want to invite our playwright up now to talk a little bit about it. together?
We're gonna sit.
Yeah, let's do it. How
I'll
did,
sit here.
Sure. How did we land on this play again? Like, how did we? Like, I know we were looking at another book, and then we said no, that's too much, so we went to this instead.
Which one was too much?
Wuthering Heights was what we were looking at.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I have to pause. How many of you, this is me being a jerk, but you know that, how many of you have read it?
Wuthering Heights or Mackers?
Wuthering Heights.
Yes, we exchanged the book
Top-
together.
yeah,
I gave her.
You've read Wuthering Heights?
We
Really?
traded. I gave her the
Because
secret
of the
history.
new movie with Margot Robbie.
No, I gave her in AP Gov. I gave her The Secret History by Donna Tartt, and she gave me Wuthering Heights.
Hey,
They just gave it
so
to
we
us
could
for
do it
English
now
class.
in the future.
Yeah.
Great. We
Wait,
thought it
next-
would be a little too weird.
We just gave it to English class.
So we decided at some point
Well,
we
that
both got
one was
excited
that
about
to us. Wuthering Heights was like there. How am I talking about this? Why did you hire me? I think there's that was just not. It was too sexy.
Yeah.
There was just you can't do that without
Yeah.
what it's about, and you can't do that with high schoolers. So that was like a no. There just wasn't a way to de-escalate
Yeah.
that. And so we were like, but we could do it with Mackers
Yeah.
because. In this country, violence is fine. It's the romance that's the problem. So we said yes to violence and no to sex.
Yeah. And you found a very cool angle with it.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about what you found relevant. In
Yeah.
this play.
Well, I love I love football. I love football. I think it's in its own way theater. Anybody who saw the Ravens-Steelers game last week knows that it is theater. It makes you hold your breath. But also, I think that we initially were going to write it about a drama club.
We were.
And then I was like, I don't want to talk about theater
Well, we did that 2 years ago, right? And I think both
we
of
did
us
it with
felt a little-
Canterbury Tales,
Yeah.
basically, and also with the sense of like, yes, there's a lot of pressure in theater, but also like only a small group of kids who are going to come and see this are going to be theater kids. I think the idea of sports is sort of this ubiquitous high school event, and in its own way, I think the closest to war, which is what Mackers is about. It is a very violent sport. It can be a pretty deadly sport. It is a very big money-making sport. And then, whenever you choose to do any play at all, suddenly it's kind of like when you're like, I'm going to look for 11:11 on a clock, and then suddenly you see 11:11 everywhere. It's that, which is a cognitive problem, but it makes you feel special. And that, of course, happened with this, because the second we decided to do it, we started seeing all these articles about, schools that were spending millions of dollars on new
football
stadiums for high schoolers, because they want to get their kids into the D1 schools. They want their kids to be part of like the Fighting Irish and all that kind of stuff, right? Which I think is hilarious, because yes, we won the battle of I'm part of it, but of getting college kids compensated fairly for putting their bodies on the line, but high schoolers sure aren't. And so and yet they are this huge moneymaker for their schools and their entire towns. There's an entire economy built around this that's built on the back of children who already have to deal with pressures of life. Hello. And so that's sort of where
and in some ways it kind of felt like an extension of last year's, which was about pressure and failure.
Yeah,
and
yes, that was about pressure and failure, which is something I guess I enjoy.
they're two acts of the same play, is what I say. In
Yeah,
both
I
sense.
think so too. I think that, yes, there are two sides of the same coin. There's the importance of failing, and then there's also not failing at a cost.
Right.
There's the fear of failing, so we don't try, and then there's pushing ourselves so hard to avoid failure, and that winds up causing failure in other ways. And I sent David this long voice text earlier, which he still hasn't listened to, so I'm just going to say it now. But it was about how I'm currently reading this book because I'm a nerd about like the research of the 7 deadly sins and the price that we pay to be good, specifically women. But I was reading, I think, about pride, and they were talking about this idea of mothers who were poorly mothered or abused in some way will sometimes have this feeling of resentment towards their own daughters for their daughters receiving mothering that they did not receive. And I was like, oh, is that the reason why sometimes I'm like, well, in my day, we earned our stripes, and we didn't complain, and we did our shows with 103-degree fever having a panic attack, because that's just the way you did it. You kids are soft. And I was like, or is it that I'm resenting that there could be another way to do this? And that sort of blew my mind, and I'm like, okay, so now we're looking at it that way. Like, how do we create play where there is pressure? Is there a way to balance the two, where it's like extreme discipline and desire, but also acknowledging that like the body is not an infinite resource of energy.
Yeah.
And we're already giving these kids being like, you have to learn economics and, you know, whatever, and then also kill it on the field. You know, that's a lot.
Yeah.
These days are very long. Like when I'm rehearsing 8 hours a day, but I get a break and I have little union rules. They're doing, 15-hour days every day and still have homework when they go home. So maybe I am sort of
And like one of the things that we've talked a lot about in rehearsals is like the idea of motivation, right? Like it's one thing to be running yourself into the ground out of fear for your future, and another thing to do it because you love it.
Yes.
Right?
And sometimes those things can get twisted,
Right.
I think. I think about this like a lot when it's, the desire, like loving something doesn't mean that this needs to be the thing you do for your entire life, or the pressure behind it takes your love away. Right? It's sort of this, initially we were going to do it about theater, there's still like little soupçons of that in there today, but they might get cut. But about, don't chill out. It's theater, there's cuts. But about the awards that are awarded for theater, which I think are ridiculous and insane. That there's these kids who's now their entire, because they come along with scholarships, etc. And so now these kids are fighting to do an art form, and then making that once again this sort of thing with a hierarchy when art is subjective. Right. I have had reviews as a writer for the same play where it'll be like, this is the most genius thing that's ever happened, and like this is the worst thing that's ever happened. And who cares about either of them? But if your entire future is pinned on becoming this thing, being special, then where's the joy in that?
Right. So set us up here. What's the story? What's the story of This Is in Blood?
Well, generally, I don't know if most of you, I think, have seen my work before. I love to write about women. And it's not that women aren't a part of this, but like, this is my Glengarry Glenn Ross moment. This is my Macros moment. I want to write about the men. And there are women in here, obviously, and they're very, very important. But I'm very curious about the idea that we talk about toxic masculinity, but we can't talk about, okay, but what's the opposite of that?
Right.
What's the opposite of toxic masculinity? And we're like, well, being this kind of guy, but that of course means that you're like a beta guy. So then, like, we're lost in the sauce of like how to help grow men. And so we put a ton of pressure in that space. And so my idea was that we were going to be in a world where there's a kid, Mac, who is just happy as a clam to be part of the team, and he gets a shot to rise up, and that rise to him is enough, and then to those around him is not enough. And if maybe he should just, if he could rise a little higher and a little higher, and it winds up, this person who I believe begins the show in a moral, kind place, who really could be a leader at the beginning of the show because of how he views the game, becomes the toxic idea of what a leader should be, which I guess we all know what that's like when there's a person who is showing the idea of what a leader should be, but it's not.
We did have that conversation. Do we go political with this? But honestly, that felt too obvious, right?
Yeah, like at this point, it's just sort of like if you're not aware, then it's
Right.
like we shouldn't have to say anything about it. It's kind of like, yeah.
I love it. Last question.
Yes.
Two-part question.
Please.
Challenges and joys of writing for signature in the schools.
Oh. The challenge is that because of the time constraints, I have to cut so many darlings, and unfortunately, like I have to kill a lot of darlings, and unfortunately, like the things I like are like the weird conversations that don't have to be there, that are just kind of navel-gazing actively, and I find that's where a lot of the humor is and where we learn about the characters, but unfortunately, they have to go in favor of like, what is this play, moving it along. An exposition. But I think that's also one of the joys, is because then you have to like, how do you make exposition fun? Right. And not want to like throw yourself off a bridge. So, and also the joy is like, these young performers are so dedicated and so smart and really fearless. And I think, you know, you and I have talked about this, that like there is this idea of like, they're so soft, they're so young, they're afraid of everything, da-da-da-da-da. But when every year, we have asked them to do more and more and more. And they've said yes. So I think there's sort of the idea of what young people are. But I think if anybody's infantilizing them, it's us.
Sure.
And I think they're really strong and brave, and they kicked butt today at their design run. I was just like, my work is done, except for the things that I have done wrong. So that's really nice to feel like, oh, it's just me who's messed up. So, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's fine.
But yeah, so I'm in awe of that. I don't think there's another program like this, and that's just, I mean, it's a gift. It's a gift.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Next, we have our costume designer, Jessica Utz. So I'd love to come and tell us a little bit about the show.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jessica. I am the costume designer for this show. I also work here pretty regularly as a stitcher, craftsperson, etc. I was also the assistant costume designer for Play On. This show, as said by my lovely assistant here, lots of sports. Lots of sports gear, lots of very bulky sports gear, and all of it matches. But we are playing a little bit into that like teen drama vibe, a la Glee, of we just live in our uniforms, and it is who we are as people, and this is how we distinguish ourselves to our peers. This is our hierarchy. We are the football team. We will always be the football team. This is what we strive for. And then we have our lovely witches, who are the antithesis of all of that, and are all of the quirkiness. Now we do lean a little, each of our three witches is kind of one branch of being goth. We have more of our like 90s goth, we have more of the Hot Topic goth, and then we have more of like a punk goth vibe. And we have Sev here, who I very much appreciate, dyed their hair especially for the occasion. Lots of partying in this show, so also trying to make sure all of the outfits transition well to hanging out outside of school. As young as I may look, I am no longer a teenager, so I have relied on my three assistants to keep me on track for what the teens are wearing right now. As said before, this is a very large cast. They have all been very helpful in getting into all of our outfits, and providing shoes and such, and it has been wonderful working with all of them. I think that's everything.
Awesome, thank you so much. All right, we're going to do a little scene from the show. Now they're just going to be standing here as they do it. Why don't you come up? Okay. You grab the other stand too, Lucas. Yeah. And this moment in the show, we have Mac and Beth. Okay, and earlier this day, he's surprised everybody. Stand, please. Surprised everybody and won the game, and now he's moving up in the ranks, aided by the prophecy of some goth witches he met on the bleachers after the game. Beth has some economic challenges in her life, and needs a scholarship desperately, and hopes that if he moves up in the ranks as a football player, that she can move up in the ranks as a cheerleader, and that they both can get the future that they've been dreaming of. They're on their way to a party here. We're going to start with the, and then we're just going to stop at the end of your monologue, okay?
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Wait, before we go in, tell me one more time. What did they say?
That I would be first receiver.
Which came true?
Right.
Okay, and then what did they say? Just tell me one more time.
That I would be quarterback.
Quarterback!
Yes, but that's in order for that to happen, there would have to be no Duncan.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Nothing.
No, what?
Just, what if something did happen?
I mean, I guess that's possible, but I mean, to have something bad happen to someone else,
Even if that meant something good would happen to you? Aren't you exhausted from having to suck up to these people who are so much worse than you? Wouldn't you like us to be the golden couple for once? Duncan is lazy and selfish and unfit for the position.
I mean, I think he's pretty okay.
God, of course you would say that! I should have known.
What?
Never mind.
No, what?
We have a chance to change our futures. The witches gave us that, a forecasting of a future that actually sounds bright. When have you ever thought that our futures have sounded bright?
Not often.
Exactly. Duncan doesn't need to be quarterback. None of them need any of this. Duncan is already slated to go to Duke for business, just like his dad. Okay, it is all fun and games to them. It is life or death for us. Do you really want to end up as nothing just because you think Duncan is pretty okay?
What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that we just find a way to move the witch's prophecy along. If it's going to happen anyway.
What, like hurt Duncan?
No, not hurt, never hurt, just get in trouble.
Meaning what?
Listen, at every single party, Duncan gets completely blitzed, and at every single party, someone is assigned to make sure he doesn't grab his keys and start driving. I am not saying that we are going to do anything crazy. I'm just saying that, we're going to make sure he's able to get what he wants.
Which is?
His keys! Do you even listen when I talk?
Sorry, but what do we even do about the people who are watching him? They're sober. That's their whole thing.
Okay, I'll swipe some Valium from a medicine cabinet upstairs.
How do you know there will be Valium in a medicine cabinet
At these houses,
here?
there's always Valium in a medicine cabinet. Okay, we wait for them to fall asleep. We grab the keys from them. We hand them over to Duncan.
Let him drive drunk? Are you insane?
You didn't let me finish. Right after he leaves, we will call the cops and tell them Duncan's license plate number and exactly where he is. It'll take them 2 seconds to get to him. Okay, the cops will pull him over. He'll get in serious trouble. He will get booted from his position, and voila, done. What? It's just giving someone their keys. Our hands are clean.
I don't know if this is okay.
All right, then. Let's just stay being mediocre.
I mean, come on. I did just get bumped up to first receiver. I think that's a little bit above mediocre.
Yeah? Tell that to your dad.
Ooh.
Sorry.
No, you're right.
We've had mice in our basement for the past few months, and we've been using these traps, the ones with the glue, and usually there's a mouse on the trap, and it's it's dead.
Right.
Yeah, but this one time, about a week ago, I think we found a trap. Oh, I found a trap, and there was a mouse on it, and she was alive and trying to get out of the glue, out of the trap. And so I called my mom over, and she was like, if we let this little mouse keep struggling, it's gonna chew off its arm or leg to get free. She wanted to break free so badly. She was literally willing to rip off her own arm. And then she was like, we've got to take care of this. We've got to kill it. And so she filled up a bucket with water, and she picked up the trap, and she drowned it. And she kept saying I didn't have to look, but I was like, yes, I do. I have to watch so that this little mouse knows that her life had meaning. And then I realized, I was crying, and my mom was like, oh my gosh, chill, and please don't become a vegetarian. But it wasn't about the mouse. It was about the fact that I understood her. I understood feeling stuck with no way out and wanting one moment, one shining, freaking moment where the struggle is worth it. And not I am so exhausted by life that I'm literally willing to rip off my own arm with my teeth just to get free of it.
And we'll stop there. course, speed dating. Let's get Maggie, Amelia, Farrah, Deacon, Stephanie, and Caroline, please. Okay.
Hey, Stephanie.
So here's what I'd like to chat with you guys. We talked a little bit about this with Danny, but I want to talk about the relevancy of this show and what it means to you. So why this show now? What resonates with you being truthful? What do you hope students get from it, adults get from it? Let's just chat with each other about the relevancy of this piece now. Caroline.
I think it's honestly such a gift because I've seen a lot of the issues that are mentioned in the show in myself and the people around me, and it's such an incredible experience to be able to share the message that like this is not okay, but there is a way to fix it. But we all like it has to be a group effort, and people have to take accountability, and it's a really great message. But I do think the one big thing that stuck with me that I hope other people take away from it as well is like you were saying about the motivation behind your goals, because if you're just doing something to get there and to have that title and to be known as like that person who did that thing, it's not going to mean anything to you, and that's what's important.
Amelia, the Deacon, and Maggie.
I think it's really important to talk about the stress factor that we have been put under, and also really, which is amazing to show to everyone and just kind of talk about it. And yeah, like what Caroline said, what can be done about it. But my biggest thing is kind of what everyone was talking about earlier, how a lot of adults are like, oh, they've gone soft. But that's the issue, is that we haven't gone soft. It's just stuff has gotten harder. It's gotten harder to live in the world with AI and climate change and all these other issues that have been put on young people, because a lot of people have started blaming us. And it's like, it's not our fault, and it's not our fault that we have gone soft. It's just that it shouldn't be us deciding all these things that are way out of our control. And I think that stress and everything else that has been put on us is really difficult, and it's also really difficult to talk about without blaming anybody. Which this show does an amazing job of just kind of saying it in a vague way, where it's school, it's all of these other factors in our life, which is causing that stress for us.
Deacon and then Maggie.
It's really nice to be able to, like, I think, show how we maybe a lot of us feel about this kind of topic to like people who are adults and who maybe in some ways that the show is about. But I think that it's really hard, like when you're like, especially like in high school and you're like going to college, when you have such intense pressure on you and you feel like you can't be vulnerable and you can't feel like that you have the agency to choose when you've had enough or what you want to do or how you want to value your life and your career. And being able to just show what's inside of all of our hearts, like in the show, is just amazing, because maybe if you guys can understand how we feel, then, you know.
Yeah, I really think that this show is super relevant right now, because I've seen a lot of the things we talk about and deal with and what the characters deal with in my friends and in the people I love the most and in myself, because there's always this like social pressure to like do the best, be the best at your sport, be the best at your art, be the best at everything, have the best grades in the class, and go to the top schools, when really it's all in a system that doesn't exactly work. You have to fight against it, and even if when you do and you try the most, it still doesn't work a lot of the time. Like most of the time, those people, like when they mentioned that Duncan is slated to go to Duke because his dad went there, you know, the people who have the opportunities get the more opportunities, but even when you're fighting for the opportunities, you still sometimes don't get it. And it's kind of hopefully can show people that it is a group effort and we need to all work on changing the system, because it's no individual person's fault. It's the society and the system that they've created.
Oh, sorry guys, we got to move on, but thank you all. Up next, I want Annie, Lucas, Lily, William, Tess, and Arlo. Okay. So, none of you attend the same school. Well, I just want to talk with you guys for a minute or two about what it has been like working with people who you don't see every day at school, and like what the opportunity there is, the blessing or curse of working with other people that you don't see every day and expanding your boundaries. Yeah, whoever wants to talk about, please, Lily.
Well, I actually go to school in Southern Maryland, so it's an hour for me to come here every day, and I did not know any of these people before the program, and I would never see these people otherwise, so it's really nice to talk to these people who have such a different experience than me. It's very different living close to the city, and even just the school systems here run things differently than Maryland, so just hearing about everyone's experience, it's really nice to talk about and have these conversations.
Tess.
It's really fresh to meet completely new people, especially in like theater. I know in high school, like we always see the same people every day, and it can get a little tiresome. So it's nice to come meet new people. Also meet like learn new ways of theater. Like everyone's school does theater a little differently, and it's always really interesting to be educated on that.
You're looking at me, Annie, please.
It's very like fun. I think that people who like choose to try out have so much drive in them. They know what they want to do. They're coming here for a reason. And I think that, not that all our schools don't have people exactly like that, it's just such a concentrated amount of people who are at it and are going for what they want and have so much drive. And working with people who are like that is such a beautiful process, and David and Matt do such a good job, and Sierra, like cultivating the space and making sure that we all feel comfortable. But it's epic seeing these crazy, smart people put this work together, because at the end of 10 weeks you have something beautiful and crazy.
Thanks. Anybody else have anything they want to add to that? William.
I want to say it's just different when you're not like in the same classes as people, not even like just that you're doing theater in a different location. It's more just at school, like when I'm doing shows at my school and I go to rehearsal and stuff, I still feel like I'm at school because I see these people in my classes and stuff, and I still feel like the academic pressure of the building, whereas coming here feels like a big escape from everything that's occurring like at school.
That's great. Arlo, please.
I feel like sometimes it can get, I go to Langley, and it's kind of farther away than a lot of other schools around here, and so there's a lot of people that I wouldn't have interacted with or met in the first place just because I don't go in this area often otherwise. And I think it's really cool to see how, like, we'll be going, all the theater, I'll recognize one of my friends' high school's names, and I'll be like, oh, I know someone at that school, and it's kind of cool to see those connections kind of go on.
You're at time.
All right, thank you all. In our last group, I'd like Seth, Jackie, and Angie, our 4-year students. Okay.
Hey, everybody. I called it. I go, he's not going to do this right.
Really? Are they going to be the first?
Yeah, okay, so you've been doing this for all of high school.
Yes.
Like you said, between boot camp, rehearsals, tech, and performances, it comes out to being a 10-week program. So this is, 40 weeks we've spent together now, and almost a full year. I just want to hear from my 4 years on what this program means to you, what it's given to you. Yeah.
Who else? Oh, great! I'm starting. I'm Angie. It means the world to me, truly. It really just means everything. This made me cry, and I don't cry. I don't like crying. But I like the connections I've made, the people I've met. I just, as other people have already said, being in a room full of people who want to be here, who show up every day happy to be where they are, and who love theater, and who are just excited and alive is just, oh, it's amazing. Like, I get out of school and I'm like, I want to take a nap. I can't do it. But then I walk into this room and I'm like automatically smiling because I see these amazing people, and I see David and Matt and Sierra, and it's amazing, and I love it. And being here for all 4 years, it's made everything better. It's made my high school experience better. It's made me become a better person. I've learned so much, so many life lessons, especially this show. It's really taught me a lot about just knowing that not everything matters as much. Like, it's okay to mess up, it's okay to fail, it's okay to be you and try. And I've just learned so much from this program, and I really am thankful for everyone here, for all of you. I really, okay. But yeah, so I love you all. Thank you. Yeah.
That's beautiful. First of all, everything Angie said, because, wow. Thanks for that. Yeah, I actually knew a little bit about the program before I started because my sister did it the year before me, and and I think adding on to like learning so much about just theater in general, because my freshman year this was really my first actual play. And it was like, on a rake stage, you have a quick change, it's under a minute, here's a wig. And it's just, it was so much all at once, but I think that instead of easing into it, I think the fact that I got to just be like treated like professionals, like you're not treated like, okay, we're gonna hold your hand through this process. It's like, you are becoming adults and you can learn. And I think that's something really special that this program specifically does. And like, I'm actually directing a show right now, and my teacher, she was like, wow, like you're doing so great, like given there's so many people and everything. I'm like, yeah, and I'm realizing like, oh, everything I'm doing I have learned from this program. I've learned from David and Matt and Sierra, and it's just such a wonderful experience to get to take the things I've learned here, and this program genuinely is what made me want to pursue theater. And I think it's something really special, and I've met some lovely people along the way.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
I think, wow. I think, like, I mean, I was like, what, we were like freshmen when we first started this, so of course, like, I had no idea what I was like doing with my life. I just was a high schooler, and it was fine, and I didn't really put any thought into like theater at all until like there was like, I think we went on a field trip or something, and we had like a workshop with Matt. And at first, like, and I was like in this room with like all of these kids and like from my school, and we were freshmen, and like no one really wanted to like do these like awesome exercises that Matt has, you know. But I was like really into it, and I was like, this is so much fun. And I had no theater, no acting, like nothing previous, and I auditioned, and I've been here for 4 years, and it's the greatest thing I've ever done. Like, I really grew up here. Like, I was like a baby, and now I'm like going to college, hopefully for this. And I just like have like eternal gratefulness like for this program, for you, for Matt, for Sierra, who's wonderful, and yeah, like I owe my entire like what I want to do, the person I am, who I've grown into in this room and outside of this room, I owe it to this program. Like, it's truly made me like a better person, and I'm so grateful.
Thank you all.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Thank you all, and thank you all. We have just a couple minutes left. If any of you have questions for them, now's your chance. Please, Carol.
I just wondered what came first, whether the casting and then Danny's writing, or did Danny write the play first and then you cast
This was the first year that was different because so I was doing a show in New York, and that was going to be during the time I would generally write. But the cool thing is because I just realized when you three were talking that I was like, I have written every show that you've done here. Yeah. And so when you kind of have an idea, it becomes sort of a rep company in a weird way. So you're sort of like, okay, well, we don't know who's going to play this part, but we know that these are sort of our players. These are the people, you know. And I was like, go with me on this, David. I'm going to try writing ahead of time. Because generally, I write after I meet them. I have an idea, and then I write afterwards. But I was like, we're adapting. We know who the roles are in the show. And so then we can expand and contract as we go. And so this was our first time with them being able to do callbacks and audition and things like that, and like look at parts of the script and things like of that nature. So this was the first time that that's ever happened, and I think it worked out quite well. So I might be pushing for it in the future. Maybe. I don't know how it worked out for David. It was great for me. So yeah, I thought.
Time for probably 2 more questions. Yes.
I might have missed this, but how many people auditioned for this?
It varies drastically from year to year.
Mm-hmm.
There's not really a good answer for that question because it really just depends on what's in the water that year. Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions? Herschel.
I wondered if anybody here was aspiring to be a playwright and how it was working with Danny.
Sev.
Yeah, so I said about 2 seconds ago that I'm directing a show right now. I also wrote the show, and I think that so much of it has been just like watching Danny's process, not obviously very up close because she's very busy, she's very talented. But the fact that I've been doing this all 4 years, she's like, oh, we should cut this, we should cut this. And like, you know, when you're an actor doing that, you're like, oh man, I really like that scene. But then you're like, oh wait, no, that makes everything run so much smoother.
Thank you, Seb.
So I think just doing this program and watching her process has helped me a lot to say like, oh, it doesn't need to just be like, I want everything and I will fit it into the show. I'm like, no, I have to cut things, unfortunately, but it works out in the end. So
Thank you.
Jackie.
I wrote a screenplay for my short film over the summer, and a big thing that I never like worked with Danny, but a big thing I took away is like pace is so important. I think like when you're writing, you have to keep in mind like how does this move. So I think like that was really I like as an actor, like I feel like you don't think about like writing until like you have to write something, and it was really really fun, and yeah, it's cool. Out 2026. February 20. This is 2026 now. So next month.
Yeah. Our last question for the evening.
Yeah, what about, what's a good one to end on? What about a quick show of hands, like how many students intend to pursue theater in college or whatever they're going to do? How many?
And who does not, out of curiosity? Cool. For my money, I'm hoping that they learn skills that are applicable to whatever they end up doing, right? Like, we have former doctors that have come from this program, and like, name a prestigious position out there in the world, and we've got an alumni that is doing it now.
Like David, isn't Carl in the salesman? The cast was
Oh, I didn't know that actually. Oh wow! So we have that's fantastic. We have a former student who did all 4 years of high school, who's now apparently going to be in Death of a Salesman with Nathan Lane on Broadway. I'm just finding that out now in front of all of you. Okay. That's great. Carl, he was way before your time. That's great. But this is a great place to end, because what you all are supporting is tremendously important for the development of these people. They're dealing with really difficult, change the world subject matter, and they're doing it in important ways that are teaching them discipline and collaboration. And I hope for them it is an empowering opportunity. For me, it has been a life-changing opportunity that I never could have dreamt of. And I'm so grateful for all of you and your support, and I look forward to seeing you at a performance of This Ends in Blood soon. Have a good night.